Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to piscarifly. Peter Driver here, which is again not Saturday night, Sunday night. Couldn't go live last night. I was at my nephew's 21st up in Wexford. But good to be back on. This is our final show for this tie-in season. Next weekend we see the full opening of all fishing in Ireland, and it's time to get back out in the river now and lakes and start fishing all those lovely flies we've tied all winter. How you doing, Brennan Splan? Mark Joyce is on with us there. Colin O'Gara, good to have you on. Hi, Dylan from the Welsh D. Glenn Campbell, good to have you on with us there. Glenn, Declan Noonan, Jamie Conway, Peter Wadden. Hope everybody is keeping well. And Helen Dolan, good to have you on there as Helen. Mark Joyce, Thomas O'Sullivan. Hope everybody's keeping well and had a good weekend. How you doing, Richard Odlum, Mark Rogan, Jerry Buckley, Pat McGee. Hope everyone had a good weekend, and we won't talk about the rugby. We might just let that one alone for tonight. I hope next weekend is better. But congratulations to Dave Donovan. Dave Donovan won the... How you doing, Declan Noonan? Dave Donovan, Robert Flaherty, Bill Sheriff, and Giuseppe's on with us there as well. Dave Donovan won the Masters down in on the Bride the weekend. He won the Munster Masters down. How you doing, Mick Corlett? So congratulations to Dave on his win, and everybody else that qualified for the Munster team. So this is our last night, so we're going to do some knock style stuff tonight to finish off the season. It's been kind of a... How you doing, Kevin Maher? Jared Murtagh's on there as well. Ken Dunna's on with us there as well. How you doing, Ken? Hope everyone's keeping well. Happy Mother's Day, of course, to everybody, all the mothers out there. Hope he's had a great day. So we're going to do some lock style stuff tonight. Dave will be along in a little while with a trivia quiz. Tonight's prize is going to be 2 fishing vouchers for Thomastown anglers. Okay, so whoever wins the prize tonight gets Dave's trivia correct. They will win 2 fishing vouchers for 2 full days fishing in Thomastown. Come up and have a cup of tea with us here on piscarifly, and we can point you in the right direction to some good fishing. So stay tuned for that one. We got some great patterns coming. How you doing, Paul Burke? We got some great patterns coming up tonight. A couple of really good ones. I was asked about a few during the week, so said I'll tie them for you tonight. And don't forget to hit that share button. If you hit that share button, I'll do a draw tomorrow at some stage, and you could be in to win. You could be in to win your into win tonight's flights. Okay, so hit that share button. Hi, doing Mike McGovern. Good to have you on there. Anta Boyle. Good stuff, Anta. Good stuff. Anta won our how you doing, Nigel Haynes? Anta won our flies from last week. So we're going to get straight into it here. I put up a picture there during the week. How you doing, Eamon Gavin? I put up a picture there during the week of Martin Kenny. Good evening to yourself too, sir. Of some fiery brown dabblers. Oh man, Kevin, keep going, Kevin, keep going. But I put up some picture of fiery brown dabblers, and a few people asked me would I tie it tonight, so I said I would. Okay, it's not a complex pattern, it's quite simple, very effective pattern. Fiery brown dabbler, it is a good early season pattern. I can remember a few years ago going to the Corrib and going out with Joe Trill out of Ballindiff Bay, and I think I had 5 trout on the opening weekend of the season in February with a fiery brown dabbler. So it is a fly that's always worth putting up in the cast. How you doing, Dick Croak is on with us there. No, it won't be long now, Dick. This day next week. Yep, this day next week. So we're going to start off in the voice there. I have a Kamazan B175. I just noticed something with me red thread here. I'm going to use some Simplify Classic Wax red tying thread, but I just have to pull it back up from my thread bobbin there. 1 second now. It's been kind of a strange tying season, I suppose, compared to other ones that we've had. With Australia and other things that happened, we didn't really get into any great rhythm with our videos and stuff, but I hope you've enjoyed what we did cover. We will be back next year, of course, on the first Saturday after the season closes. And we will be tying, of course, all... I won't start with that thread, actually. I have to start with Glow Bright number 7 for this, okay? Glow Bright number 7. This is the thread we're going to start with. Onto that B175 size 10. Just attach that on there. And take away our bit of waste, okay? For the tail of this, I'm using dyed orange pheasant tail. But we will be lots more live fly tying, live fly fishing, a lot coming up on the club. Piscarifly Club. If you're not a member, you can shoot on and join up. First month is free. Great discounts on gear and stuff as well. So we will be continuing all our live fly tying and getting really stuck into the club stuff over the coming months. So I'm just going to put a little orange butt on this fly. Take away your waste. Whip finish it. Now I did kind of do something wrong there. Normally when I'm doing a tag, I leave the tag end off and then fold it back over. It stops that from slipping down so it stops the tag from slipping down onto the tail or lower on the hook. I'll keep going for now, but you've seen me do it before. And what I'm doing here is I'm just leaving some of the waste. I'm not cutting it right tight to the hook because I want that for the rib. Okay, that's for your rib. Now I'll attach my red thread. It's the classic waxed Simplify. Hi Dave. Dave is just in there now. I was just congratulating you there a while ago, Dave, on the great win you had. How you doing, Kieran Flynn? Dave on his win there the weekend at the Masters. Now a little bit of fiery brown seals fur. Just take it out with me. So this is a bit of fiery brown seals fur that I would mix myself. So it's got brown, olive, yellow and red I think I have in it. And that's the kind of colour combination I use. It's just mixing it myself for the fiery browns. And we're going to just dub that on to the thread. Nice simple pattern, but very good pattern on kind of dark spring days, the kind of weather we're having at the moment. Like the glow bright rib and the glow bright butt, it does pop out quite nicely off the fly. And we're just going to come back over onto the butt a bit just to leave a smaller butt there. We don't need a whole Robbie Berry's on with us there. How you doing, Robbie? Mikey Foley, good to have you on with us there, Mikey. I have a little bit of red game cock hackle here, and I'm going to use that for the parrot hackle on the body. Put 2 turns up at the head and then start parmering down. So need one more turn. Slipped out, but I got away with it. Now I'll catch my glow bright and I'll rib up that fly. And secure it. Clean up our waste. Another couple to make sure everything's well tied in, and then we get ready for our wing. Give it a brush back with the dubbing brush. Just gets a little bit of that dubbing up into the hackle as well. Gets a nice natural taper back on those hackles, sitting back nicely. And we got a real good, what I call a mount there for our wing now. Nice bit of space and a nice taper on our hackles so we can put in our bronze mallard. So had to go to the safe to get the bronze mallard out today. Bronze mallard is becoming extremely difficult to get. Lucky enough I still have a bit to keep me going for orders, but it's not the sort of stuff that you want to be wasting. Nowadays it's very difficult to get at the moment. A lot of people, I must get I don't know how many phone calls a week of people, any chance you'd have any bronze mallard. Getting quite difficult to get, but it is beautifully on our dabbler, so let's hope we can somewhere someone starts to come up with bronze mallard. But we're going to take our bronze mallard. How you doing, Chris Oliver? James Cavan, is good to have you on there. Neil Hamilton, how's things? Hope everyone's keeping well. So we're going to take a piece of this nice bronze mallard here, and I normally steam my mallard. You see it's a nice clean, a nice clean mallard. You steam them, it makes it much easier. I thought I had one kind of put to one side here that had a bit of that wasn't quite clean. I don't know where, but I normally steam them. Give them a bit of a steam, cleans them up, gets them really, really ready to use, and you're able to really get lovely, lovely wings out of them. Okay, so I take out about, for a size 10, I've got a good inch, maybe a little bit more of bronze mallard there, and I'm just lining up the tips a little bit. Okay, and what I always do is I normally just offer it up to the hook. I go 1/3 below and 2/3 above. That's my kind of rule of thumb. No, there won't, Peter. Yeah, because bird flu, Jamie, bird flu wiped out most of the stock across Europe, where most of our bronze mallard comes from. And for to get bronze mallard off a duck, a male duck, it needs to be a couple of years old. Young birds don't have really good browning, so it's just gone. It's gone, and I suppose the big tying houses, things like that, they soaked it all up. Like, so just to us end customers, we can't get it. That's simple as that. Like, you know, very difficult to get. I was lucky to pick up a few bags there earlier on in the year. So what I'm going to do here is just make sure my lens, I like to come a bit past oak. Depends on it. If I'm tying a real leggy dabbler, I will let them come quite far back, but mostly just to roughly around, kind of just a slight bit past the bend of the hook is where I kind of tend to keep them. Offer them up like that. Once I'm happy with them, 1/3 below, 2/3 above, and then I'll just wrap my thread around just like so. And I'm cloaking that fly then in bronze mallard, as you can see. And you get a lovely even cloaking the whole way around the fly. That's there is other ways that people, hey, doing Rob Redmond's on was there. There is other ways to put your bronze mallard on if you wish, but that's the way I've always done it myself. I find it the easiest and the quickest, and you get a nice even cloak on your fly then. So what we'll do then, just to finish off this fly, is I always like to put a secondary little piece of bronze mallard on my dabblers up at the top of the wing. I think it gives the fly just really nice shape. So I'll take another little small snippet, 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch of bronze mallard. I'll fold that in half, and I'll offer it up there on the top of the fly, and I'll let it go just a slight little bit longer than the cloaking. And I think it just gives it a nice shape when you have that little bit extra on top as the wing. Snip away your waist, and you're ready to finish the fly. Start to thread down at the eye and build your head backwards, back up. You always get a nice even clean head on your flies. Thanks, Robbie. National parks are trying to currently put mallard on the protected species. Soon you won't be allowed to shoot them anymore. Right, okay, yeah. Yeah, and so I'll tell you what, the price of dabblers. Yeah, there's a few flight hours I know that were kind of joking about the price of their dabblers. We'll finish that off. A little bit of varnish. Thanks, Martin. Martin there's also saying that the colours of the bronze mallard is nicer when they're mating and outside the shooting season, of course. I suppose no company has ever really clicked. Hi, John Wilkinson. No one has ever really clicked. No, Jamie, that's what I was just about to say. No one's ever really clicked with a really good substitute, you know. Now, you can take mallard flank, breast feather off mallard, and I know some lads that have to try to dye them a little bit of a browny grey. It hasn't really worked. Glen Campbell brown marker onto teal, yeah, you'll get close with it. It won't be the same though. You know, teal has a different barring as well. Yeah, Robert, yeah, absolutely, yeah. It'd be a good one with a booby eye as well. Everyone's got booby eyes now. Geez, even already, like, I was joking with someone there recently, and we're talking about, I don't know, actually it was George McGrath was up here, and we were having a bit of a chat and a cup of tea, and I was joking and saying, you know, we're talking about fly patterns and fly tying and how much has evolved and stuff, and I said just booby eyes, like, you know, and it'd make a great book, call it The Sexualization of Trout Flies. And have all the lake flies with booby eyes and stuff, and different things and fabs and whatever else, foam arses and things that they want in all their dabblers and their lake lock style flies now. We call the book The Sexualization of Trout Flies. But there we go, there's your dabbler. You can see you got your lovely cloaking, all nice around, nice even spread on it. You know, with our nice bit of tape or hackle underneath, but being brushed back. It allows you create a lovely mount for your wing, and it really finishes the fly quite well. Like, it's not a complex pattern to tie, as you can see, but it's super effective. Like, thanks, Harold. Super effective Super effective lock style fly. Definitely one for this time of the year. You can get it. You could fish that all through the season, folks. They'll take it for a number of things, you know. Another good early season fly. I was asked a few people, so I kind of went along, and a good few people were asking about different patterns, and I said lock style, and they were asking about my silver dabbler. Again, I've tied it a few times, but a few people wanted me just to recover it. So I said I would, but I do a slight variation on it for you. This is a real early season fly. I've got a tungsten, tungsten bead up there on the front of this size 8 Camazan B175. Okay, Dave is on there as well, folks. The question is coming up soon, so keep an eye out for that one. Don't forget, you can win 2 free passes to Thomastown fishing for a day of your choice, or vouchers. I have two vouchers there, and they'll be sent out so yourself and a friend can come along. Great stuff. Kevin's saying it's great flying Loch Sheelan. Good stuff. So this is a silver dabbler variation of my silver dabbler. It's more really early season for the fry chasers and stuff. I'll just get a few bits together here now for this one. Let's see where I put it. Here we go. Okay. Cracking fly. Size 8, B175. Tungsten bead on the point to get you down. Start off by adding in your Kevlar. That's our own Kevlar. Of course, thanks to Dave. And he's also said the third correct answer is going to win. So the third correct answer will win the prize of the fishing. And I'm just getting a few bits out of the tub here. A little bit of silver tinsel. Okay, this is just a hank of silver flash. All right, and we're going to put a little bit of that in as our tail. Any kind of silver flash will do for the tail for this one. For those who are looking for the pattern, you know, you can just as long as it's nice and soft. Okay, it'll be very finicky. Some of the flashes don't really have. They can be a little bit restrictive in their movement, like so. This is just really soft stuff. This one is, I don't even know where I picked this up, somewhere along the way, but can be really good. It's nice for a tail, like it's nice and soft. There's a little bit of movement to it, and it's just not like a straight bar when it gets wet or when you're pulling it. So tie that in quite securely. Now, in the original tying of this, and give the tail a bit of length, you know, the original tying of this, the flash I had did actually have a little bit of UV in it. Now I ran out of it, I burnt it up, so, and I wasn't able to find it again. So what I do now is I add a little bit of this winging flash. Okay, I'm not sure if any of you ever came across this winging flash, but I've spoke about it before. Dave is on there for the question for anybody watching that's on YouTube or on my own page. Female eels give birth to millions of young. What percentage are born female? Okay, so female eels give birth to millions of young. What percentage are born female? That's the question. Third correct answer wins themselves 2 free passes to Thomastown Anglers Water here in Thomastown. Okay, so I'll add a little bit of this UV into the tail. Just a little bit. But this is really fine stuff, as you can see. It's super fine. Quite fragile in the hand. It breaks quite easy. But believe me, when you get it tied in around, it'll stay there. It won't break away too quickly. Alright, so just nip a few of those off so it's a bit more of a natural looking end to that tail rather than a straight cut. There we go. That's our tail in. Lots of questions coming in there now, or lots of answers, should I say. Okay, so third correct answer will be picked out for the now. So I have 2 ways of doing the silver dabbler. This particular dabbler, one is with a hackle and one is without a hackle. Okay, because this is a size 8, I'm going to tie this one with a hackle. The size 10s and 12s and 14s don't have a hackle. It's a much better fly without it, but this one does. This one we will put on a hackle, okay? So I've got a bit of silver wire going in there. And now I'm going to use the Solderini Fritz, the little straggler Fritz from Solderini. You can see it on our website. We have all that stuff on our website. That's what I use. You can see the lovely UV. That's the stuff we use for the body of my silver dabbler. So as I said, on a size 10 and a 12, you don't have any hackle. Okay, it's just too much. You're just overdressing the fly, really. Where on a size 8 now with something like this, I would put on a hackle because the body just doesn't have enough. It just doesn't have enough density to a kind of so I start winding it up, and as I wind, I stroke back as best I can. The bits of fritz coming off that straggle. Of course, silver dabbler is always a great pattern to have early season, no matter where you are. And even the standard silver pattern, which are dual mylar body and your brown hackles and stuff, are really good. Don't go right up to the bead. Okay, we need a bit of space. We have a bit of work to do in there in a while. But you know, your standard silver take away that. Your standard silver dabblers are excellent as well. The early season, great point fly. I'm fishing Loch Ool now. We'll start getting out soon enough. I'm gonna add in a bit of grizzle here. It'll be this will be my point fly. Tie the upper waist. Plenty of answers coming in for the quiz on it. And we're going to take this down the body. Now we're going to not really, you know, 3-4 turns. That's all I want. I don't want to overdo it. And I'll even try and take back half a turn there maybe. I have to come back up here now a bit, just to get it right. There we go. And now just take your wire, wiggle it all the way up. Get up to the bead and secure it in with the thread. And just tidy up that hackle like so, and make sure all our barbs are well back, tapered back nicely again, and we've got a nice body. Really nice body. The white bead is lovely on this fly. I've tied them with silver beads as well, and they're quite nice. Yeah, Chris, some of that silver flash, I have it there. I'll be using it on one of our other patterns now in a few minutes, but it is really good. And what I love about that silver, the piscarifly silver flash dubbing, you can really draw it out with the dubbing brush into a hackle, you know, and it becomes part of the hackle, and is lovely stuff. Okay, so now we're going to put on our bronze mallard here for this. Okay. That wire is 0.0 or 0.2. It's Sabaya. Okay, that's the wire there. 0.2. It's not actually. It's not that fine really. It's quite heavy for most of what we do. I'd only really use it in lake flies. I wouldn't use it in river stuff. It's too heavy for the river. So again, taking out my section of bronze mallard. And line up my tips, and again put it in there. A little bit different with the bead in the way, but just take your time and get that cloak. And you really, I'm kind of going around with the first turn. I'm not putting any pressure on the bronze mallard. I'm just going around very loosely. Yeah, Carol, absolutely. Going around very loosely just to get that two-thirds that's up over the hook. Excuse me, to wrap around, you know, so that we can to wrap around so that you can get a good even cloak the whole way around. So when you're putting that first turn of thread on it, don't overdo it. Just no, very little pressure, just enough to hold the mallard in place till you see that come right around, and then you can tighten up then, and you get a lovely even cloak on it. We'll get those little bit of mallard tied up now in a minute with thread. I just cut the longest ones away. Now, what I'm going to do then again is same as the last time. I'm going to add in a little bit extra for the wing over the top. Doesn't need to be much, it's just a little bit, but it does add a lovely kind of shape to the fly. I find I always like the look of it when there's just that little bit extra on top. Now we're going to put in 2 little jungle cock cheeks. One on that side and one on the other. Take your time, make sure they're nicely in position. Now, to finish it off, we are going to add in a small little bit of Piscari hotspot dubbing, okay? Fire orange. Just a small bit, just between the bead and the wing. Just right in there in that little bit of workings. We add in a small little bit of fire orange. And man, when this fly gets wet, does this stuff pop out. Small bit now, don't go crazy. You could put a globe right in there if you want. I like the bit of dubbing because I can brush it out a bit. And it kind of marries back into the fly a little bit, so it's lovely, like. And it just covers up all the bits of workings we had there. And once I tighten up, you see how that's sucked in there and behind the bead. All our bits of trimmings and everything there cleaned up. It's just one of the things about Kevlar, you know, you really, when you want to get the finish on the fly, you just give it a good pull. Sucks it in there behind the bead, and everything's lovely, neat and tidy and clean. Transitions from the bead back to the fly very well. Thanks, Kieran. And there is your kind of a variation of my original silver dabbler that I've tied for years. I know I've made videos before, but people were asking about it again this year, and I said, look, I'll do it this week, and I said I'll do it. So just hold the tail or the wing and stuff back out of the way. Just keep your hands on that, and just tease out that little bit of hotspot dubbing. So just go back in up along the wing, just a little bit. It just makes it lovely. And there you go. That's the silver dabbler, size 8, tungsten beaded silver dabbler. That thing on the pipe now, pulling Lockwool, or that thing on how you doing? Someone on our YouTube there. I'm new, but we'll be back. It's great. You're very welcome. That thing there now up in Sheelan, I'd even go 6s in that, or you can go a long shank on something with that. But that thing up in Sheelan, or Lockwool, that's on a point fly being pulled for the fry chasers. Look at you know yourself when you see it, and you see it wet, and the UV coming through it. It's an absolute cracker of a fly. What a point fly! A little bit of a bead, a white bead is a cracker, and it, of course, you know, it just helps with the getting it down deep and stuff. Getting it swim a bit deeper. But there we go. So we got 2. Thanks a million, Gary. Got two really good flies there. Hope that the people that were looking for the silver dabbler, I know it's not exactly that silver dabbler, but I say if I'm tying it on a size 10 or a size 12, just don't put in, you're not using the bead, but you're just not putting in the body hackle either. Okay, so that's it. It's quite the silver dabbler I do tie. Yeah, it's up online. It's quite an easy one. And so that's the Solderini body that's used for. We have that online. You can get it up online there. The collar is piscarifly. Tom Hipwell, piscarifly, fire orange, hotspot dubbing. That's our own dubbing there. I make himself here. It's called hotspot dubbing, and it's the fire orange. I just put a little bit of that behind the bead, just a little bit. You know, thanks, Kevin. Just a little bit behind the bead. You don't need to go mad with it. Okay, sticking with the early season team again. This time of the year, the questions. You know, what's the best flies to use? What's the best flies to use? Everyone's so excited to go fishing. And they're all, you know, everyone wants that, and by all means, you know, we love when people ring us up here, or email us, or text us, or WhatsApp us, or Messenger, and you know, and looking for some information. We're always more than willing to help. It's part of our service that we provide, as most of you know. So, you know, if you are stuck or you need some information, or you're going somewhere, by all means, give us a shout here, and we'll do our best for you. You know, sometimes a little bit of information can help. They're going to go into the tub, and whoever has shared the stream will be in for a draw to win tonight's flies, of course. But one of the questions we do get a lot is, you know, what flies to use and stuff like that. What flies to use at the start of the season. So we're going to stick with that theme of the start of the season, and we're going to do another very good early season pattern. And it's. I think last year we did a Hares ear dabbler, but this is a hair ear pearl dabbler. Okay, so it's a pearly dabbler with Hares ear. Nice fly, really good early season fly again. I can hear a phone ringing. I don't even know whose phone it is, but someone's phone is ringing here in the shop. I don't even. Anyway, it'll go off in a minute there. Garrett, yeah, I look at. I know I have fished. Do you remember that fishery up in the Curragh? What was the name of that? The fish. What was the name of that bloody place? It was up in the Curragh anyway. There was a lake there. It's been closed a few years now. Lovely spot in the guy's front garden. But I used to fish that silver dabbler up there, and I know a few other lads in the A-wall used to fish that silver dabbler up around there, and we used to get tons of fish. Tons of fish on yeah, that's it, Peter. Yeah, someone's ringing. Yeah, looking for the mallard. Probably that's it, Peter. They saw I had mallard here in the house, and they're coming to rob the house. Yes, Curragh Springs. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Robbie. But yeah, I used to use that silver dabbler up there, and used to get cracking fishing on it. Like, and I know in the A-Wall League there was other lads using it as well. So absolutely, flies like that do work. Like, okay, so let me get my head into this fly here now. This is a lovely early season, of course. Hares ear dabbler represents a lot of the early season. They can take it for a fry pattern. They can take it for hog louse. Early season trout do feed on hog louse and stuff in around the rocks. So this would be a kind of a pattern that I would put out there if I'm banging in around rocks and stuff like that. Myself and Tom last year talked about this fly, or this kind of early season patterns. So we mentioned it before, but there's so many people asking me about early season patterns and Hares ear stuff, so I said we'll do one tonight. So I'll just get my head into it here now for a minute. We're going to put a bronze mallard tail on this. Again, more bronze mallard going into it. These flies will definitely be worth winning this week with all the bronze mallard that's on them. Just taking a little pinch of that, folding it over. I'm going to tie it in there as a tail. Decent enough old tail on it. And secured in well. Now say this is a... I haven't anyway, Jamie. Jamie Conway's wondering has anybody fished the locks over Knackle. I haven't anyway, Jamie. But if anyone has there, give Jamie a shout. So I'm putting in a little bit of pearl into the tail, and what I'm using is microglint. Okay, microglint. Again, you've seen me use it before. I use a fair bit of microglint on my dabblers now over the last couple of seasons because it's so fine. Like if I took, right, the wing and flash is fine as well, but if I took a pearl, say pearl crystal flash something, it's just too heavy. It's too strong. It's too. How you do, Tanya? Good to have you on with us there. It's too. I find it just too heavy. Too heavy, really. So once we get the micro flash, the microglint, we can just tease it between our finger and thumb. You've seen me do it before, and it just breaks down the strands, and you get a very subtle, very soft little bit of flash there to go into the tail. Doesn't overpower the fly, doesn't restrict any movement in the tail or anything like that at all as well. So it's microglint's very good stuff. I put in a lot of dabblers and things last couple of seasons. Has some real good success with it, even just tying them for people, you know. It's not even what I get to fish. A lot of patterns that I tie, they get tested by you guys, you know. People ordering flies or ringing up looking for flies, I tie them for them, and it's the feedback I get, then I know if that fly is you know, really going to be a success or not. Like, we're going to put in a silver rib on this one. This is silver uni French small oval. And we'll just start that there. And of course, don't forget, this is our last. We will be back next year, or not next year, in October. But the Irish Spring Angling Fair, folks, is happening on the 4th and 5th of May this year, down in Adair Springs. Absolutely fantastic show. Last year and last 2 years were just brilliant. Great to meet up with people. Fantastic venue down there, you know. last year was just amazing seeing the kids. All the kids that came down, they got, you know, they were all able to go fishing. They were able to, remind me now, I'm actually looking through me dubbing here now to pick out the dubbing for this fly. I thought I had it. That one. I'm looking for a pearly hare's ear. So I should have hare's ear here somewhere with pearl in it. And I definitely saw it. And this is the only dubbing boxes that are out here. So this one has a bit in it, alright. Not enough though. Needs to be a bit more pearlier than that there. There's a small little bit in it, but I'm going to just put in a little bit of pearl into that for a moment. But yeah, so there Springs, Irish Spring Angling Fair. Don't miss it. Cracking show. We're going to be down there lock, stock and barrel, giving presentations each day. I'll be doing some talks on river fishing, river nymphing. I'll also be doing some demonstrations on the lake as regards casting light rods and stuff like that. So using 1 weights, 2 weights and 3 weights to cast, and how our casting techniques changes and adjusts when we go to those real light rods, and different things like that, and talking about setups and leaders and things. Just going to mix in a little bit of pearl into this, bit of hare's ear for this flight. But so do, yeah, if you're around that weekend, Maybank holiday weekend, fantastic weekend, and bring the kids. Great there last year. My kids had a ball. Tie a few flies with that guy. Go out onto the lake then and catch a few fish on it, win a few prizes. They have loads of kids prizes and everything there as well. So great weekend for the family. Can't wait. Always look forward to it. And great to just get out and meet people, you know. So once I've just mixed up a little bit of dubbing, add it in there onto the tray. I'm going to start riding up the body. A little bit too much. It's okay. Now we've got another red game hackle. It's the one I use for this. I have used what's called a past grizzle here in the past, but don't know, just a little bit of red game. I like it on it. Grizzly is nearly too much. Again, 2 turns up at the head and then start coming down the body. Nice even turns. So I would say that this hare's ear pattern would be more heading towards a fry pattern rather than something that would imitate hoglouse. So your standard hare's ear, a very basic do Gary. Yeah, absolutely. Your very basic standard hare's ear dabbler would be more suited towards the hoglouse. This would be heading down, really getting nearer to the fry chasers. The bits of silver and the flash and the pearl and the ribbon. A silver ribbon is lovely actually with when you see it wet, and again it really pops out more so than gold against the red game cape. Like it's lovely. Like it really is a nice fly. So again, we'll just get our mount ready for our hackle or wing by just giving that a slight stroke back, get everything nice and clean. Always give yourself plenty of space. The dabblers are, you know, one of the most common problems I see people that come that want to learn how to fly dabblers, or as part of it, like, you know. How you doing, Neil? Good to have you on with us there. Unfortunately, you're in work. That's tough luck, alright, on Sunday night. But you know, they don't leave enough space there to get their job finished, you know, so always leave yourself a nice bit of space to get the job finished. Again, going with the bronze mallard, taking out an inch and a half, or inch and a quarter, and doing exactly the same as before, lining up my tips and add them in. Get a nice wrap on it, and again, so now there is times when I'm tying dabblers that you know, you don't get the wrap on it quite well, your timing's a bit off or whatever it is. You're just not getting it perfect every time, but it is, I find it the best way for me. I know everyone has their own ways of doing it. I think the original tying of a dabbler was you would actually cut the stem, you would actually cut it out, so you would actually take it out like so, take out your bit of your bronze mallard that you're going to use, and you would keep it on the stem, which is actually, you know, I've tied a few times that way. Just you keep it on, because at least that means if I have to undo what I've done, well, I take it off, it's still on the stem. You know, it's still on the stem of the feather, so you can it's easy to marry it back together and remount it, like if the mount doesn't go right exactly the first time. Okay, so once we've achieved that, I'll then put my wing on top. Before I put my wing on top, I'll take another piece of microglint. I'll find that there. And then add another little. This time I'll double up on the microglint. A huge thanks to Dave as well for all the questions throughout the year. Fair play to him. Comes up with a question there every week. Some very interesting topics. Some controversial stuff there as well at times. But it's good to have him with us all the time there, asking a few questions and having a bit of crack. And that's what it's all about, folks. Having a bit of fun. You know, having a bit of fun and enjoying it. I hope I'm getting serious and it is crack. So, got me a little bit of flash. And I'll try and spread it out a bit. So just keep messing with it till you get it to separate. And then once it's spread out a bit, I'll get in there over the fly. And it's just a subtle little bit. It's not very overpowering, but it's just enough to give it a little bit of a fleck as it gets pulled through the waves. Just randomly cut some of them, make sure they're not too long. A little bit longer than the hackle. It's not sort of, the bronze mallard is not too bad to cloak, but don't overdo it. Yeah, Chris Saft, yeah. I'll have to send them out with an armoured car. The flies from this week's show with the bronze mallard on them. But now, before we finish this fly, what we're going to do is we are going to put in two little cheeks here. But the cheeks are going to be pearl mylar, okay, number 14 pearl mylar. We're going to put on two little cheeks. I always tie them in kind of when I'm putting on the mylar cheeks, nice and long at the start, because I'm going to trim them. I'm trimming, but I don't try and position them perfectly when I'm tying them in. Leave them long, and then I can have a good look at the fly, and I kind of get a sense of where I want to trim them to once I have the fly tied. No worries at all, Peter. No worries at all. It's a pleasure. I do enjoy the old fly time. I know this winter season episodes weren't quite as consistent as they were last year and stuff like that, but look, it was the year that was in it. We got through them all the same, and I hope you all learned and picked up a few little bits or enjoyed the conversations we have along the way. We'll finish that off, and now what I'll do is I'll look at my fly and I'll get my scissors and I'll just hold back those cheeks and just a slight angle, give them a little nick. Make sure the angle's in both the same direction. That'll do. Bit of varnish. Now sometimes I put a hot red head on that. Maybe I might just put a hot head on that one for the moment so you can see it. I do it sometimes. Thanks, Lucas. I do sometimes put a hot orange head on it, especially if I'm fishing on darker days. I know that the olive thread's a bit high, but I'll just put a high head on it so you can see that as well. I'd have them kind of tied two ways. Can be nice. There's a little bit of Tommy fly. That's nice and fine. You can get a nice little hot head on it, and sometimes it can be a nice little attractor. Hot spot for the fish, especially on the darker spring days and lakes are turned up a bit. I like to have a little bit of colour on it, maybe a little bit of varnish on it. Thanks, Carl. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Gary. Yeah, lovely fly. Even a little bit of orange on it there now, you can see. Helped a little bit. Lovely little bit of flash in it. Again, all these flies, you know, when you see them wet and you're swimming and you pull them in, there's a lot, you know, out in the daylight. They really can. They're cracking little patterns. You know, nothing too crazy about them. Like, that's the thing. That's what I love them. You know, they're not over tied. The pattern's not overdressed. Sometimes when you're tying stuff that's a bit of tractors and fry imitations, you can, and I've been very guilty of that myself too over the years. You can overdress it. You know, just keep them simple. Keep them very, very simple. You see that lovely cheeks there down the side. That looks like a little fish. You know, a little fry pattern. Thanks, Tim. Little fry pattern. No problem getting trout all spring on that one there. Okay, into the tub there again for everyone that has shared. Our final fly for the year. This is a bit of a brute, this thing, but this is some yolk. You can tie these in a lot of different ways. It is a zonker, okay. It's a stimy zonker. Thanks, Dave. Mark Joyce, the new rods, yeah, so they're arriving in this month. The Venators, the Piscari Venator, which stands for fish hunter. It's Latin for fish hunter, so they arrive in this month. I'm not sure exactly what date, but they're in. They're definitely being finished off at the moment, and they will be in this month. So through the club, anyone who has pre-booked through the club, as you know, there was a great discounts there through our club to pre-book your rods and stuff. That the second day land, they'll be all sent out. So it's great, yeah, really excited, can't wait. You know, it's something that we've been tempting to do for a while, and we just got around to it this year, really. You know, building a rod is something we've always wanted to do, and to be totally honest, guys, it's a tough game to be in this crack, you know. It's some people think you're having a great time, and you know, it's 7 days a week, it's 20 hours a day for basically feck all, really, at the end of it. So, you know, to make our own stuff and promote our own kind of brand and stuff like that, it's the only way we have a chance of surviving, like. So we have to go down that road a bit more this year. You'll see an awful lot more big changes coming to piscarifly this year. We have a lot of stuff in development, and it's going to be an exciting year. I hope a really exciting year. But yeah, so really excited about the rod. Okay, so I got a size 6 Camazan B175 in the vice there. Really going after the brutes now. We're going after some pigs up in Sheelan or Corrib or Mask or wherever you're going to be doing your fishing. Let's see where I guess. No problem at all, Gary. Bit of Kevlar onto that there. But huge thanks to all you guys too, guys and girls. Thanks so much for your support throughout the winter, and it was a hard time there for the last while, and I said last week, but we really do appreciate all your support here at piscarifly and putting up with us, listening to us babble on. I got a bit of holographic dubbing here, okay, metallic dubbing, alright, and I'm just taking a little pinch of that. This is a real fry pattern now. This is, yeah, a little pinch of that, and we're going to tie that in there as kind of like a tail. This thing you put on a dive 5 and you pull like a dog. Take away our waist. Dump that, look for a bit of dubbing later on. Leave it kind of long and scraggly there for the moment. We can tidy it up after. A little bit of monofilament. Okay, we'll put in some mono, any size, whatever size. I've just out a few waste spools of mono there. A little bit of monofilament. This will be what we'll secure in our zonker with. Now you can do these in any colour combination you want. Okay. Now I'm going to go to our Piscari silver dubbin. There's that there. We mentioned it earlier on. And I'm going to tease out some of that there. And tie it in. Laying a nice chunk of it. Get a good big chunky body on it. A bit of meat. The fish that's going to take this is going to be hungry, and he wants to be fed. Start winding up the hook. You can see even the amount of dubbing I put onto it, you're still going to need more. Stop well short of the eye, give yourself plenty of space there. We'll have some stuff going on there after a while. Take a black Zonker. You can go black, you can go whatever colour combinations you want. I like this particular one for the black. And I'm going to tie in the black Zonker there. So leaving plenty of room up at the head. Give that a good secure in there. Wet your Zonker strip, the fur on your Zonker strip, and get it to stand straight up. Makes it very easy to secure it in. And then I'll use my monofilament, holding everything in place, and get that to secure in the Zonker. I find this is the best and the most secure way to put in Zonkers. And then I'll just keep adding it, ribbing it up the whole way up the fly. Making sure the Zonker sits nicely on top. You can use wire if you want the visual effect of a wire. I like the mono, it's a bit tougher. And doesn't really impact the fly as such, visually. And you can hear I'm keeping good tension on it, keeping it good and tight, making sure the Zonker's well attached in there. And it's not, the kind of mono's not really interfering with the natural shape of the Zonker. Get a good tie in on that there. Switch it back and get another tie in it. Make sure it's well secure. The Venators are going to be, I'm being fair to everyone. The Venators, Neil, will be somewhere in around, sometimes, Peter, I can slip a little bit, yeah, but that's why I've secured in really as much as I can and double back over. I'm actually waiting, Neil, to see the best possible price I can put on the Venators when they arrive in here, because customs and duty and all that kind of stuff. We didn't shy away on what components we went for. We went for high-end components, high-end blank, high-end resins to make it the best possible rod we could. Lucky enough, because we're dealing direct with the manufacturers, our price point can be a lot more favourable towards the retail, towards our customers, rather than if it was made by a large company that would have to pass through several hands before it gets to the end user. So we're able to keep it fairly reasonable. I would imagine it's more than likely going to come in somewhere around about $350 to $380, somewhere like that. But of course, for club members get a great discount. Anyone that's in the club, they get it. They get a huge discount actually. So if you're thinking of picking up a Venator, it's worth your while joining the club, because you will save what a full year subscription costs you for the Piscarifly Club. You'll actually save that in one transaction. Okay, so we got our Zonker there, possibly a bit long. I'll have a look at it now in a minute, but we've added that in there now. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my dubbing brush, and exactly what we were talking about before, I'm going to brush some of that dubbing out of that body and up into the kind of wing and stuff, and it just makes the whole thing look really cool. Nice. Okay, now before we're ready to pull this through, well, that's the whole idea of the club as well, Mark, is that we can actually, that's what I want to try and create with that club. It's not about creating more money or anything like that. It's about having a place for anglers to come to feel part of a club. I'm just going to facilitate it, but we're going to be, the more Piscari product that we're going to develop and design over the next 12 months is going to be offered at great discounts and have something we all belong to. And that's the idea. And I suppose a lot of it stemmed from this show as well. And it's about giving our customers a bit of ownership in Piscari as well, as such, that we thought we will be discussing a lot of stuff on the club, and then you'll see the rewards of it. Got a nice red hackle here, and I'm going to just tie that in up here to head of the fly. So you see get some good discounts, helps everybody out, and everybody kind of wins. We all do it together. We work together. It's just trying to create something, an environment there where and then of course there's all the information, and we'll have all our trips and stuff coming up, starting. They'll be going out to be advertised now in the coming weeks. Trips abroad and stuff like that for people who choose if they want to go and stuff. So, and I'll be travelling with the trips, so you'll be travelling with me to different places around Europe and stuff. So, nice red hackle there in the front. Leave it standing up. Don't try and fold it back. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a grizzle hackle. And I'm going to put a grizzle hackle in front of that red hackle. Now before I do that, I'm going to put in a little bit of red dubbin. I'm just looking for a gleamy dubbin here. I have it here, I think. A little bit of red gleamy dubbin there. So it's just like a stimy head on a stimy head on a zonker. Really good fry pattern for pulling. Makes a lot of what you call noise in the water. And most of the hits you tend to get on this would be very aggressive hits, like. A little bit of gleamy dubbin there. Hold all those nice red hackles back, but try not to trap them back and just get that in up there. You don't have to be too fancy with it. Just once it's in there, red, and get your grizzle. As you can see, the grizzle is not as big as the orange. You don't want to go a big grizzle, okay? And put in your stimy head. Take away your waist and just gently hold them back a bit, exposing the eye of the hook, and you start finishing your fly. Well, Gary. Now, there we have it, folks. That's it. Zonker stimy. It's kind of what we call it. Fantastic. If you're going to fish zonkers at the start of the season, it's definitely one I'd recommend to have in your box. Even that style, like, you can do them loads of different colours. I've loads of these, like, thanks, Carol. I've loads of these different colour combinations and different things like that. But really attractive to trout early season. Really attractive to lock style trout early season. Again, if you're pulling that in around the rocks, the shorelines, Shield and Corrib, Mask, you know, if there's a trout on the hunt in there, he is not going to let it go by. And I tell you that the hits are just, they smash it, like, you know. Thanks Gary, thanks Neil. They really do smash it, like. And the movement, like, just the noise that comes off, and I think, you know, that's an awful lot too, the noise that comes off that front hackle as it's getting pulled through the water, like, it, you know, it really does catch his fish's attention, and they just smash it, like. So there we have it, folks. That's our 4 flies for tonight, and the last fly of this year's tying season. Rivers open up next Sunday. I want to wish everybody a safe and happy season. I hope you all catch the fish of your dreams this year. Thanks Philly, thanks Kevin. Do stay in touch, of course. Give us a shout here anytime at piscarifly. If you have any questions or queries, or you're looking for a bit of gear, do give us a shout here at piscarifly. You'll get us on all our social media or www.piscarifly.com on our website. And if you're in the area anytime over the summer, please do call in and call in for a cup of tea anyway and a chat. We always love to have people in for a chat and a cup of tea. And yeah, that's it, folks. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Take it easy and work during the week, and thanks everyone for watching over the winter months. Huge thanks to Dave Donovan again for all his help, and most of all thanks to all you guys for watching and putting up with me for this year. So till October, I'll put up a few videos and stuff along the way. Club members, I'll see you all during the week, but till October, folks, from Piscarifly Live, it's good night and talk to you all soon. Thanks everybody.